Tonight, what does cannabis do to our brains? Two Saskatoon researchers look for answers.
3.
Shovels hit the ground on a long overdue Saskatoon elementary school.
Oh, it has gone, eh? Shoot.
And his family spent decades at their cabin near Ronge. Now it's a victim of the powerful wildfires.
This is CBC Saskatchewan News.
It is Monday, June 23rd, and the CBC Saskatchewan News starts right now. I'm Ethan Williams. Thank you for joining us. It's been almost 7 years since Ottawa legalized cannabis, but scientists say we still don't know what the drug does to the brain. Now, researchers in Saskatoon say it's time to find out. Dan Zakreski has our top story.
So, what's it like to eat a 1,500 milligram cannabis edible?
It's high for 3 days. I didn't want to leave my house. I just stayed home, gamed out, and ate a lot of food those 3 days. But
Matthew Fox works at Real Leaf Cannabis near Saskatoon. He's an experienced cannabis consumer, but says this end of the store even gives him pause.
when people want to buy it, just tell them good luck.
The Saskatchewan Health Authority says the number of people showing up at emergency rooms across the province with cannabis-induced psychosis went from 116 people in 2022 to 165 people last year. It's also become an issue for the courts. A judge will rule next month whether or not Thomas Hamp is not criminally responsible for stabbing his partner Emily Sanch to death in 2022. The Crown suggests Hamp was in a drug-induced psychosis at the time, and an expert testified that Hamp's heavy cannabis use could have played a role in the psychotic episode. So, these potent gummies have health researchers wondering, what is cannabis doing to our brains?
I'm Robert LaPrairie. I'm an associate professor in drug discovery and development here in the College of Pharmacy and Nutrition at the University of Saskatchewan.
LaPrairie says things like age, THC levels, frequency of use, and a person's family history are all taken into consideration.
It's a fair thing to say that we're introducing a wild card that has effects on a critical system that's required for the brain to grow and mature in a normal way.
This Real Leaf trailer is a long way from Woodstock in the 1960s. LaPrairie says the pot your grandparents may have smoked would have had a THC level in the single digits. Today's legal edibles can be 200 times stronger.
I'm John Howland. I'm a neuroscientist in the Department of Anatomy, Physiology, and Pharmacology at the University of Saskatchewan.
Howland has a simple caution about these edibles.
Just because something's legal does not mean it's safe. I definitely think we need a huge increase in messaging around the dangers of cannabis and the dangers of frequent use and also high-potency use.
For now, both LaPrairie and Howland agree it's in everybody's best interest to keep researching what happens to the brain when we smoke or eat cannabis. Dan Zakreski, CBC News, Saskatoon.
Saskatoon police spent Monday morning investigating the city's 6th homicide. It happened here in the 700 block of Weldon Avenue near the West Industrial area. Police say they were called early Monday morning after reports of a disturbance in a house. Officers arrived to find a 53-year-old woman dead, and a 32-year-old man was arrested at the scene, but police have not said yet what he is charged with. A Regina chiropractor convicted of sexually assaulting one of his patients has avoided jail time. A Regina Court of King's Bench judge handed Reuben Mans a 15-month sentence to be served in the community. Mans was accused of touching or pulling the breasts of 7 female patients during appointments with them between 2010 and 2020. Back in December, a jury found Mans guilty on 1 count of sexual assault, not guilty on 5 counts, and declared 1 count a mistrial. The sentence leaves both the Crown and defense with mixed reactions.
We felt that stricter conditions would help ameliorate some of the Crown's concerns.
But again, the court gave their reasoned decisions on why that wasn't appropriate, and we have to respect that.
You know, he has by no means been given a light sentence, but certainly one we feel is appropriate.
As part of his conditions, Mans must follow a curfew, have no contact with the victim, and be on good behavior. He also has to complete 200 hours of community service. The province's crown corporations are reporting another record year of infrastructure investment, but the opposition NDP says Saskatchewan families could soon see the costs add up on their bills. In its annual report, Crown Investments Corporation says more than $2.2 billion was spent on infrastructure across Saskatchewan. That includes SaskTel expanding its fiber optic network and new Sask power stations near Moose Jaw and Lanigan, as well as energy efficiency rebates from Sask Energy.
We're going to be making significant investments into infrastructure, transmission infrastructure at Sask Power. That is based on really kind of energy security decisions that we are considering right now.
When profits fall and debt climbs, rate hikes follow. It's only a matter of time before the Sask party raises your power bills yet again.
CIC earnings did fall slightly below target. Almost half of the revenue went back to the province's general revenue fund. Construction on a new public elementary school in Saskatoon is finally underway. It's set to open in a couple of years from now, but as Jeremy Warren reports, it was supposed to open this year.
This assignment is long overdue. They're finally breaking ground on Saskatoon's new city centre school. It amalgamates 3 schools from core neighborhoods. Officials announced the project 5 years ago and hoped to open it this year, but better late than never.
It's thrilling. It's absolutely exciting that after 5 long years, we're finally at the point where we're going to break ground on this for this wonderful school that the children of Riversdale, Pleasant Hill, and King George have deserved for many, many years.
The new K-8 school will have space for up to 400 students and comes with 74 childcare spaces. Building it will cost $31 million. Saskatoon Public Schools says it would cost more than double that to renovate the schools it replaces. Those are King George, Pleasant Hill, and Princess Alexandra Elementary Schools.
We fought very, very hard to build a school that was representative to the community, to the families, to the students, and I'm so excited to be here. We had so many discussions around our table about building this school and what it meant to this area, and we wanted to do it right.
They're building the school in Riversdale on the old site of Princess Alexandra.
And I've been thinking about this, pondering about how I was going to say this in a good way to all of you. And when we had this pipe ceremony, it was like a new beginning for our people right here in downtown Saskatoon. The heart. To-tum, to-tum, to-tum. This is the heart of Saskatoon.
Officials hope to open the school by fall 2027, but it won't be called City Centre School for long. It gets a new name this fall. Jeremy Warren, CBC News, Saskatoon.
Most of Saskatchewan's wildfire evacuees are now back in their homes, but for some, there are no homes to return to. They were destroyed in the blazes that ripped across the province's north. We caught up with one man as he returned to his cabin near Ronge to see if there was anything left standing.
Pretty sure what I'm going to find, and after driving up here and seeing the devastation, I'm pretty sure there's not going to be a whole bunch left. Huh? Oh, it has gone, eh? Shoot. Oh well, I guess that's a couple boat motors that burned up as well. Yeah. Oh yeah, oh, that's absolutely everything is gone. Yeah, there's nothing here. See those rocks there where those benches are? Mm-hmm. That was the only thing that was here in 1982.
It's the only thing
It's
here now?
the only thing left here, pretty much. Yeah, I had a relatively new cook stove and a new fridge, and yeah, the wood stove did kind of survive. Oh, look at those propane tanks. Not really sure what I think somebody had mentioned that maybe somebody's going to offer a cleanup service. We're not sure. If not, what I'm planning on doing maybe is kind of stack it up a bit this summer, because it's right now to do it here, everything's got to be carried by hand. And we will have to clean up the whole site, I know that. So what I'll do is basically clean it up and then see if somebody might be interested in, in getting a lease here. No, my wife would not want to come and see this.
How is she doing?
Pretty good.
Well, all that rain we got this weekend likely perked up your gardens and the farm fields. It did just that at the flower gardens at the Legislative Grounds in Regina. The rain, though, not over for some of us. We've seen storms and even tornado warnings as we've gone through Monday here. Helena Mahalik will have all the latest in her forecast after the break. Stay with us. This is the final week of Pride Month, and for some, it can be challenging being a member of the 2S LGBTQ+ community and a member of a religious community that isn't always accepting. Erwin Ottenbright and his husband David Yerenon are both Catholic, but the Regina couple say they have yet to find a Catholic church in the city where they feel accepted. They sat down with Sam McCaig to talk about their journey.
Things that I used to teach as a Christian ethics teacher, as a Catholic educator, I wasn't able to live my authentic self while I was in that role. I think a lot of it was just stereotyped images of being gay, that it was taboo. Obviously, being a Catholic, it was something that was not accepted. It was, to quote some people, it was an abomination, right? So then, of course, the more you hear that, the more you repress that. So that was largely in my life, right? Was continually squelching that feeling, right? And so it becomes difficult because you know that you are feeling other feelings, but you can't act on them. I grew up in the church. It was a big part of my life for a long, long time. And for me to sort of abandon that, is something that I'm just not willing to do. As a gay Catholic, I can maybe have a role in others seeing that we're as faithful Catholics as anyone else. It's just that we have our life is just slightly different.
I grew up Catholic, went to Catholic school, a Catholic private school from grade 1 to grade 12. I really didn't fully accept that I was gay till after university, I'd say, or maybe towards the end of university. Coming from a Filipino family and raised Catholic, like you were just kind of pressured and guilted into going to church, and that's what my mom was always pressuring me to go to. So that's why I went. I would say, yes, I'm still Catholic. Well, as they say, like once you're baptized, you're always Catholic, right? Until it's you that decides to renounce your faith.
Is this the life that you would have imagined for yourself 20 years ago when you first had that conversation with your ex-wife?
No, I wasn't sure what was in the future. I wasn't sure, but I just knew that I couldn't continue, living the way I was living. It wasn't until I met David that the possibility of marriage really entered my mind.
Well, we're going to Paris as well as at the end of the trip to head back to Regina. And so I thought, well, if we're going to spend a few days at Paris, maybe that's the right time to propose. Yeah, we got engaged at the Trocadero, which kind of had the backdrop of the Eiffel Tower in the background. And that's where I proposed him.
Surprised?
Yes. To say that I regret being married is completely false. I had a wonderful, I loved my wife. I was very happy to have had children and now grandchildren. So I can't say that I regret a lot. I mean, I guess my only regret is that I hurt people. That's my only regret. For those who are interested in pursuing a life, of faith, whatever it is, I just I would tell them to search out a community that is welcoming, to search out a community that that they feel that they would want to belong to, because there are those communities out there.
And weather specialist Helena Mahalik joins us now. And Helena, we're officially starting summer with a whole lot of rain, but a whole lot of storms too.
Yeah, Ethan, we've been tracking some severe weather last week and now this week as well. Let's take a look at what's going on in the province. As of Monday at 6:15 p.m., if you are watching live, there is a tornado warning in the RM of Morris, which includes Watrous, Young, and Zelma. If you are in these areas, seek shelter immediately, preferably in a basement. Now, as we see the rainfall continue Monday, we did get a lot of rain over the weekend. Areas like Lucky Lake, 66 millimeters, Kindersley, close to 40 millimeters, and our major cities, Regina, close to 30 millimeters of rain, and Saskatoon, 27 millimeters. Now, keep in mind, most of this rainfall is just from Saturday alone, so that's a very significant amount. Throughout the province, we're going to see some showers continuing throughout the next couple of days. As we look into Tuesday, we're going to see some showers continue in the afternoon around the Ronge area. We definitely know some rainfall is needed in the north. Throughout the rest of the week, we're going to see some light showers. Wednesday, we'll see a chance in the south. And as we get into Thursday, we might see more of a chance in the north, the far north, and some scattered showers potentially around the Prince Albert area in the northern grain belt. We won't get too much of rainfall accumulation from these showers, not like the weekend, that's for sure, but we could get around 5 millimeters in places like Outlook and Saskatoon, Regina and Moose Jaw around 10 millimeters, and this is by Thursday. We will see some wind gusts as well throughout the rest of the week. Not too strong though. As we get to Tuesday, it'll be a very clear day, but into the evening, we'll see the winds pick up slightly. Around 30 kilometers an hour wind gusts in areas around Swift Current in the southwest. Wednesday, we're going to see that continue a bit stronger, up to 40 kilometers an hour wind gusts in south and central Saskatchewan, and even up north, we're going to see some breezy conditions as well there as we see some storms continuing. We did see temperatures drop down over the weekend, and that continues into Monday. Tuesday, we're going to still see cooler temperatures hovering just below that 20-degree mark. As we get to Wednesday, temperatures are returning back to seasonal for this time of year. And Thursday, we will see temperatures again at seasonal or even warmer than seasonal, Ethan. So it definitely is the start of summer and start of tornado season.
No kidding. What a welcome to the season. Helena, thanks so much.
Thanks, Ethan.
Well, an Edmonton company is helping families memorialize their loved ones in a bit of an unusual way. Known as One Last Ride, the service offers a chance to hit the road with a coffin or urn on a motorcycle, providing a funeral procession fit for a biker.
I was looking for a car hearse. I was scouring Kijiji. I put it on Canada Wide and the bike came up. I thought it'd be a great business opportunity. Just change the way funerals are done. I still get a kick out of every time I take it out. There's people, their eyes are that wide. As far as I know, this is the only working motorcycle hearse in Canada. I had it completely redone. The roller deck is redone in red oak. The motorcycle was redone top to bottom, so it's good to go now. The funerals that I've done, the feedback is just unreal. It's straight positivity. If I can help them get some closure in some way, because we all share our love for motorcycles. When these avid riders pass, you know, you think, what would they want? Well, I know myself, that'll be taking me.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders have unveiled their updated Indigenous logo, designed by Chris Chipek of Red Pheasant Cree Nation. The logo will be featured on the team's helmets at Saturday's game, and a portion of proceeds from clothing sales will go toward Indigenous initiatives across the province. Stay with us. We have more news and a final look at the forecast after the break. Welcome back. The streets of Saskatoon were a little bit more colorful this past weekend. The city's annual Pride Parade brought together the community with floats, balloons, and a whole lot of music.
I've seen a huge difference in numbers. Like it's grown over the years for sure, and which I'm always happy to see more and more, and it's involving inclusive for many more groups.
Come on, everybody, cheer! Happy Pride!
We live in a country where we can do this. We have the freedom to be able to do this, and I guess that's important.
Yes, in case you missed it, that was a cat that you saw in the parade as well. Helena, thank goodness they didn't get totally rained out for that parade.
I was looking at that cat. It was so cute, Ethan. I was distracted by it. But we might see the rainfall continue throughout the week. Let's take a look at the forecast for the city of Regina. Tuesday, temperatures still below seasonal, but we're seeing the sun come back. There is going to be a slight chance of showers throughout the rest of the week, though, which could be thunderstorms Wednesday and just some rainfall throughout the rest of the week. 30 to 40% chance, but we are seeing temperatures return back to seasonal for this time of year. As we get into the weekend, maybe temperatures still just a little bit cooler, but Sunday into next work week, we're going to see the rain end and temperatures will slowly jump back up to seasonal or just above for this time of year. And overnight lows will return to seasonal as well. Even the weather is celebrating Pride with a nice rainbow transition. Saskatoon, same thing. Tuesday, the sun's coming out, but temperature is still a little bit cooler. We'll see rainfall for the rest of the week, just a 30% chance, maybe some thunderstorms as well. Temperatures returning to seasonal for this time of year. Saturday, a better chance of rain. Temperatures cooling down just a little bit, but Sunday into next work week, Ethan, we're going to see the sun continue, so always a little bit of something in this province, always a chance of rain.
Yeah, for sure, and let it be known, I think that's the first time that rainbow transition has been used in a weather forecast.
I think we got to use it the rest of the month. Happy Pride.
There you go. All right, Helena, thank you.
Thanks, Ethan.
And that is it for us. For more news anytime, you can always head to our website or subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also always download the CBC News app on your smartphone or tablet. Thanks so much for watching.